Star Residence has confirmed its Chinese release date to be in July alongside with new dungeon and a new class, which is the guitar class. The guitar class is going to come with two different playstyles involving a melee playstyles and a ranged playstyles. Furthermore, is that dungeon or even raid in the actual official release is to be said to be significantly bigger than anything we have experienced during the second beta, and with significantly more mechanics, and most importantly, tanks and healer are significantly more important in these dungeons. After the second beta has ended, the official developer has invited some of these Chinese creators to their Shanghai development studio to give them a preview and a showcase of what they can expect in the actual release. In this video, I want to cover what we can expect in the upcoming July release for Star Residence, adding in some personal opinion but also parroting some of the changes that has been mentioned by the Chinese streamers. And if you're excited about the upcoming Star Residence release as well as you're interested in following more of the actual update when it comes down to the actual release on July, consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed the video. And with that being said, let's get started. Brew Protocol Star Residence has officially announced that July is going to be its release date, alongside with a new trailer that talk about many things that is going to be upcoming, most importantly the housing system as well as the raid. Now this trailer itself doesn't really present any new information that we didn't know already from the second beta, but I want to point your attention to this part where it actually specifically mentioned that you're going to get pity when you farm gear in Brew Protocol Star Residence. In my opinion, the July release timeline seems to be quite early for Brew Protocol Star Residence, considering how the second beta has a lot of This is the official trailer uploaded by the official Star Residence channel on Bilibili, and if you scroll down, you can see most of the comment kind of reflecting the same sentiment as well. Like, wow, can you really change all of these in 2 months? I highly recommend that you really cook something really good. Now, I'm not saying that it's not impossible, but I do agree that it feels a little rushed. Something like pushing in July, everybody just praying for the game's success in the best way possible. Of course, there isn't like a real reason to heavily doom post the game when it's about to release. We will wait and see what the game actually look like in the current state after the release, and of course I'm going to be uploading more review video as well as playing the game on stream at that time. But I do have to be a little skeptical because I do think the amount of time they have given themselves to address a lot of these core issues that was shown in the second beta is pretty short. But the other big thing to be aware is that the global release will not be at the exact same time the Chinese release come out. That means that they will still have a lot of time to listen to Chinese player feedback after the release to address some of these issues to change it for the global version if it do eventually make it to the global, which of course the original Brew Protocol did not. Overall, personally, I'm still really excited to check out the actual release of Star Residence. I'm just more excited to have a game to actually play. I'm still quite skeptical, but compared to other MMO like Chrono Odyssey or Crystal of Atlan, I think overall Star Residence is still the one that I'm the most excited for just because of its casual, laid-back aspect, but still having really engaging gameplay. Regardless, for Brew Protocol Star Residence, they did spin up a creator early access server as well as invite many of the major Chinese creators to their Shanghai actual headquarters to experience some of these brand new changes or a preview of the new content when it comes down to the actual release that I'm going to be talking about now. Of course, the most important and the most exciting thing is going to be the release of the brand new guitar class that's going to have a melee or a ranged DPS playstyles. I'm actually not too sure if this is a DPS class or a support class. It looked like a DPS class from the footage I was able to find, but there weren't a lot of footage just because of the secrecy of the actual testing for the creator servers. However, most importantly is that the creator servers also had like large raid available. Here you can see the footage of some of the new bigger attack with a significantly larger indicator, and has been mentioned by the people who has playtested that the mechanics or the mechs to clear these dungeons are significantly harder and higher compared to what has been available in the second beta, so they reassemble more like a boss fight, more like a raid. The Chinese creator also had the opportunity to directly speak with the developer, and one of the biggest things that the developer has directly mentioned or even admitted is that the balancing for the second beta was really terrible, and they will do their best to address the difference between class balancing and making sure that the class is all well balanced and that every single class are viable and playable, unlike the second beta where some class mages were significantly better than other classes. Of course, we will actually have to see what the balance actually looked like when the game actually come out. Without a large amount of player playing it, it's hard to collect the data to see which class is balanced and which class is imbalanced. But just to bring it up that the developer is highly aware of the class imbalance problem, and they are working their best to address to making sure that every single class is more balanced and more viable compared to the second beta. Life skills also supposedly got a new big update as well as rebalance, starting off with 2 brand new life skill class which are going to be sewing as well as woodcrafting, and they respectively are supposed to be creating weapon for your class as well as furnitures for your housing system. I wasn't able to find any information or footage on the housing system. I think this was actually not even available on the early access creator experience server, so nobody really know how the housing system is really going to turn out. But because there is an entire life skill dedicated to crafting the furniture for the housing system, I think overall this is trending to a good direction, that the housing system will be like a complete separate system that is going to have its really own really fun gameplay loop and stuff to do and stuff like that. The biggest update to life skill that was mentioned by this creator though is that there is going to be now the option to create or craft material or gather item without using energies, but however the results will be bound. So you're going to be able to kind of explore the life skill system however you want to get bound item. The unbound tradable item are still going to require energy and stuff like that for balancing reason, but the core idea here is that they don't want to turn life skill into like a pure money making skills, because this was the biggest problem in the second beta, is that the life skills end up just being, well, you just farm whatever sell the most on the market to make money, and it end up turning it into like a chore rather than like a fun interactive gameplay that you can choose to do whenever you want. So the idea here is that they want to give player the option to have fun with the life skills to kind of do when they have off time and not consume any energies, to create like bound item, to create like home furnitures, rather than feeling really restrictive to have to farm the most high valuable item. One of these things you can actually do that was shown in the preview video is that you can actually flex your fish now. After you have caught a big fish, you can actually put it on your back and walk around town and flex it to every single one that how big of a fish you really got. The next point that the developer has addressed is going to be dungeon pity. The developer has previously mentioned this, but they are properly implementing it now. When you clear any dungeon for the first time, you guarantee a legendary drop, and then every 5 runs after that, you guarantee another legendary drop. This is one of the biggest pain points in the second beta, is that gear farming felt extremely grindy and impossible unless you spend hours and hours farming, and then they get obsolete a week later. The developer also promised to address pay to win. During the beta, there was this problem where people who are pay to win can have 5 or even 6 legendary emoji, and they can stack all the effects together, and then they will be able to like one-shot the boss like that and do like 10 times the amount of damage of free-to-play player. The developer has addressed it and changed it so that you can only equip up to 2 legendary emoji at a time. So pay-to-win player can equip 2 legendary emoji, while free-to-play player or even like hardcore grinder can have like 1 legendary emoji and 1 like epic tier emoji. So people who pay will still be stronger than people who are free-to-play, but the gap is going to be significantly smaller compared to the beta. Personally, I'm still skeptical of some of these promised changes like drop rate, rebalancing, because I think they take a large amount of data to make sure that they are working properly. I think class balancing is things that you have to address over time, and it's hard to say if class is going to be properly balanced on release. But the good news is that we were able to see a lot of upcoming planned content or adjustment in the creator experience server already, so these things are already implemented, like the fish and stuff like that, so the developer are working pretty hard with, as we can tell. At the end of the day, I would say the same sentence I always said in every single one of my video, is that Brew Protocol Star Resident has potential, but that is still where I would put it.